For any law enforcement officer killed in the line of duty, when that happens, that's referred to as their end of watch. Now, in each of these cases, Glaze, Weiland, Borstowski, their final farewell was orchestrated by the same officer-in-chief.
We shouldn't have to be doing these types of services for our men and women in blue.
They are the final call to arms for officers killed in the line of duty. The date of an officer's death is referred to as end of watch.
That's how detail-oriented that we get.
When that happens, it starts the clock for Jeremy Peary of the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources.
You never leave a fallen brother or sister behind, period. So just because they're now deceased, it doesn't mean that they're no less important to us.
During a recent 6-month stretch, 3 officers were killed upholding the law. In each case, Peary was appointed officer-in-chief to orchestrate the last goodbye for the fallen.
We want to be as prepared and as professional as what we can to provide those services to that officer and their family.
This attention to detail falls on Peary and a select team of fellow officers to account for every detail, from where people are placed, to the timing of the 21-gun salute, to even where the service is held. When Rusk County Sheriff's Deputy Dan Glaze was murdered last October, his service was held in the gym of the old Cameron School. But no matter how large or small a venue is, Peary's team must plan and execute a grand display of pageantry in only a matter of days.
It's similar to planning a wedding for several thousand people in 4 days.
Rusk County Chief Deputy Phil Grassman is now part of Peary's team. His first service was for his former colleague.
I remember thinking to myself, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. I can't believe this is actually happening, but it is happening, so I'm going to do the best that I possibly can.
He and Peary worked nearly nonstop to craft his ceremony.
When I stayed at his place, we would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and start working on this deal, and then go to bed at 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night to ensure that we had everything lined up.
Amidst all of the choreography planned, the #1 goal is still to show respect for the family of the fallen. Eau Claire County Sheriff's Deputy Corey Shalinsky served as family liaison for his friend Dan Glaze and said much of the wishes for the service were made after Dan's death.
Dan was my brother. I know this is what he would have wanted. And to bring in a not so familiar face to say this is how we do it in law enforcement and this is how we recommend it, that would have been very tough for them.
Despite the strategizing, some things don't happen according to plan. And now that Peary has led the planning for 3 of these services, he knows now how to remain cool.
You can't get stressed out about that stuff. You just got to understand that those things are going to come up, and as long as you're solid in your planning, you got contingencies in place, we're good to go. If it happens, okay, let's deal with it and move on.
It is only once the tributes end and the deceased is taken to their final resting place can Peary and his team reflect on the officer's final and proper salute.
Our very best that we can do is the very least that we can actually do for that officer and the family. So nothing less than our best is acceptable.
Now, the Wisconsin Honor Guard Association lists on its website 15 line-of-duty deaths in the state in the past 10 years. We have more about the process and other stories connected to these services online right now at weau.com.